Okay. Let's get it. Let's make sure my mic is turned up. Nobody in here yet. This could be a really chill one for me today. Let me get this on Twitter real quick. Let's get this tweet sent out. At what point do we think that doing all this is just bad luck, right? We haven't won a single game since I started doing this. Well, at least since I started doing this with other people watching. I normally watch film, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So just a couple things on the Panthers in terms of um, last week, I guess. Last week, it's a totally different team than what we saw 2 weeks ago. I think some of it is that kind of galvanizing effect of changing your quarterback. It makes the team kind of rally a little bit. So I think they kind of played a little over their heads. They're still without Jonathan Brooks, who probably should be back maybe next week, maybe the week after. Adam Thielen is going to IR, so that's kind of their slot receiver, having Leggett and Deontay Johnson out there. They did take Jatavian Sanders, so you're going to see him then zero. That's their tight end there. The Panthers also spent a ton of money on their offensive line. They brought in Robert Hunt, if you guys remember him. He's the guy who had the crazy almost touchdown for the Dolphins, where he previously was. Um, and then let me bring up the rest of their depth chart since we're just kind of doing all of it today. Obviously, we know Chuba Hubbard. He had a good game last week. He had a really good game. Deontay Johnson, Xavier Leggett both looked like they were great recipients of what Andy Dalton did. Damian Lewis looks like he's questionable. They have Taylor Moton, Robert Hunt, Austin Corbett, Chandler Savala will probably be the one starting if Damian Lewis can't go. And then they have Ike Ekwonu, who was like a top 5 pick a couple years ago. In terms of their defense, they do run a primary 3-4 defense. So you are going to see more of a nose look instead of a 4-3 like we typically run with 2 D tackles. So Shy Tuttle, it says questionable. It looks like they have injuries all over their D line. Their best defensive player, in my opinion, is Derek Brown. Derek Brown is on IR, and he may not play the rest of this season. So they do have J.C. Horn. They have Nick Scott, who we know all about from last year. They brought in Jadeveon Clowney. They have Josie Jewell, who's a solid linebacker. Shaq Thompson is also still there. I think Shy Tuttle's an okay player. He is questionable, so if he doesn't go, I think that does hurt their defense a good amount. I think the key for this game that they had against the Raiders, they were balanced in their approach. They kind of let Dalton ease into his game flow a little bit, and when that second quarter kind of hit, you could see he was more comfortable. He was back in the game speed. They kind of let him go a bit more, and he started making some very, very good throws. He made a good one to Deontay Johnson for a touchdown. It looked like it was kind of off the back foot with pressure coming in. He made one, I believe, is to Xavier Leggett in the second quarter, where he threaded it between the 2 linebackers, Robert Spillane. I'm blanking on the other guy's name. I'm not worried about the Raiders yet, but he kind of, let's say, linebacker 1 plays here, linebacker 2 plays here. He hit this gap right here, and he let Leggett go. That looks very weird. But anyways, so we'll get started on this. This is the first play. This kind of sets, well, if that wanted to work. Hold on real quick, guys. There we go. For some reason, it just blacks out sometimes. There we go. Um, so again, just kind of a rhythm and timing thing. You get good yardage on this. This is the first time that the Panthers had led in like close to 300 days. I saw that it had been like 280. It had been almost like a full year since the Panthers had led in a football game at any point. So this is a big first drive to kind of establish confidence in their offense. You get a good gain to Adam Thielen there. It's a good rhythm. Just kind of let Dalton feel the game a little bit, let him feel the football, and then you get a good run right off of that. Which again, the Panthers do have some pieces up front that can move you. Especially if your defensive line's not ready to go. I will say one primary difference between us and the Raiders, besides the fact that I think Robert Spillane right here is one of the most underrated linebackers in the entire league, is Max Crosby lines up primarily on the right. Trey Hendrickson lines up primarily on the left. So that is a different look. I do believe their right tackle. I would probably take Moton over Ike Ekwonu, but um, again, they kind of offset what a lot of Crosby can do by sprinkling in good runs. Again, like I said, Chuba Hubbard had a good game. They're also doing this without Jonathan Brooks, which that's a pretty dynamic running back room. They do start mixing up the formations too. They do run some shotgun, pistol. They go under center and run traditional I form. Again, just another kind of rhythm and timing throw. The defense is giving you that level of cushion. Dalton is going to take that. He is a very patient quarterback. He is normally not going to put the ball in harm's way, but you will see coming up here. I believe it's actually on this drive that he misses someone behind, and it should have been picked. The Raiders should have made a play on it. I watched all this last night just to kind of get everything set, so I'm not just spitballing in here towards you guys. Now, the second half's a little fuzzy, but if I do remember correctly, on this first drive, he misses one pretty badly. It may have been second, but we'll see. We'll see. He does have a bad miss, though. And as a defense, you have to do. You can't let the offense off the hook if they give you that opportunity. We kind of let the Commanders off the hook a lot. Again, 2nd and 20, you let them convert. We let them convert a couple second and longs. They won second down a lot. And then at the end of the game, your defense has an opportunity to rectify all of it by making a play, and you force a fumble, but you don't recover it. So they're just moving guys right now up front. And this is I think is part of having a new QB. Again, pre-snap motion, they're moving Thielen across. But I think part of having a new quarterback, it's like this across a lot of sports. I think you see it in hockey where if you pull your goalie and you put in a new goalie, you've seen a lot of teams who fight back from that, who will battle back into the game. It kind of wakes them up a little bit. I think it's the same sort of effect when you get a new quarterback. Like everybody from week 1 to week 2 on this offense and on the defense as well. I think the defense may just be, getting a little more rest. The offense isn't going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, but everybody on this offense just elevated their play to a different level than we've seen out of the Panthers for the past, year now. I would say right around there. So, it's that new quarterback effect. I mean, look at his run blocking. You'd like to see, what is that? Is that Mingo? Jonathan Mingo out there? You'd like to see him get a little piece of that DB, but again, 9 yards on first down. So now you're 2nd and 1. You can take a shot. You can just run it and pick it up, and that's exactly what they do here. And you don't just pick it up. You pick it up by getting about 5 yards on that carry, 5, 6. And we're going to lead with the Panthers offense because, again, that's, I feel like everybody's concern is what's our defensive answer going to be. I wish I could tell you. I wish I knew what the Bengals' answer would be. I think it's probably just have a little bit more compete on the D line. I think that game can kind of just be chalked to, and that's a hell of a throw. He layered that perfectly. That game can be chalked to just not competing at the line of scrimmage. Like even Trey Hendrickson was invisible through large chunks of that game. They just slept walk and they didn't do anything, So I think maybe just battling a bit more and just raising your compete level a little bit would go a long way in terms of your defense. They throw a goal line fade there. That probably should have been caught, it looked like. Is that Deontay Johnson? A former Bengal thrown to a former Steeler. It's disgusting. But then again, it's Andy Dalton. Why do I care? I will say we talked about it before Monday Night Football last week. Andy Dalton, the only other quarterback to throw for 303 TDs. Here's one of them. Again, just he takes what the defense gives him. He's not putting the ball into harm's way yet. This first drive was just pretty much perfect if you're the Panthers. It's a good block on the outside. And you just get the ball in your playmaker's hands and you let him go to work. So let's go ahead. I'm just not dealing with any special team stuff at all. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So here we go. We're back with drive 2. Let me pause this real quick. The Raiders did not score, so you're up 7-0 here. You have an opportunity to go really exert your will on this team. No Max Crosby on the field as well. That's the one right there that I was thinking of. Dalton misses him behind. And if you're 0, you got to make this play. Motion back across. Look at that. If he gives you that opportunity on Sunday and you don't cash in, that could be the difference in the game. With how our defense played, that could be the difference. Again, good pickup. Makes it 3rd and 5 now. He takes what the defense is giving him. He gets away with one that should have been picked. If he was wearing stripes and playing the Steelers, that is a pick. But that's neither here nor there. Again, moving Adam Thielen all around pre-snap. He sees something, goes and checks with the offensive line. That looks like a free play. Why'd they blow it dead? It looked like offsides. Let's see what they called on here. Neutral zone infraction. Okay, so it's actually, here you go. So it's 3rd and 6. So it wasn't 3rd and 5, like I said. So that wasn't automatic first. Here's 3rd and 1. Again, more pre-snap motion. Hand off to the fullback. Was that Chuba Hubbard lined up as a fullback? It was. Look at that offset I form. You do not see that a lot in today's NFL. They break out the wing tee against us, I'm going to be sick. All right, back to shotgun, 1st and 10. A good gain on 3rd and 1. Handoff, patient run. He just kind of kept his feet moving. He didn't just hit the hole and go like we've seen a lot of guys do who just pick up a yard or two. Kind of picks his spots. Ooh, Spillane had an opportunity there. Getting more motion. They're motioning on every play, it feels like. And I feel like the Bengals, we did enough motion. We didn't motion as much as we did against the Chiefs, but we also didn't have to. That's a defense that you should dunk on the way we did. And I will say, this is a much better Raiders defensive line than our defensive line. They brought in Christian Wilkins. They have Max Crosby. I haven't really checked the progress of Tyree Wilson yet, but they do also have him. I just think they have more pedigree. I think they have better players on that Raiders D line. But they're still getting some movement up front. That bounces off the ground. Good one-hand grab by 94 there, even if it doesn't count. All right. So Raiders get the stop there. Looks like it's a good punt. It goes down to the Vegas 3, so congrats to them. All right, here's drive 3. Let's see if the Raiders have done anything. Have they scored? Yeah, they scored. It's tied 7-7. Here we go. Let's see how they respond. Start with a run. Again, like they fill pretty nicely. They get a couple yards. It's when you walk away from ready for 2nd down. You didn't get stopped for no gain. Was that ball at the what is that, 25? Yeah, 25. Yeah, you got 2-3 yards there. Another run here. That's some good blocking, man. They're blocking that really well up front. Just look at the gaps that he has to run here over on this side right here. And then he's also got that cutback right there. All right, so back to under center. You've run shotgun a couple plays in a row. Some pre-snap motion here, and they give it to him. How much they pick up there? Like 3-4 yards? They're testing the perimeter of this defense right now. It's a hell of a play by number 7. Again, they're showing the same pre-snap motion. They're motioning back across. Bob Spillane. Oh, this is one that I watched. Watch. Oh, it does it again. That's so weird. Whenever I pause it, I have to remember that. Okay. Watch 41 right here on this. And especially watch his feet here. He starts like getting on his toes, and he does it multiple times trying to time the snap count. Watch. Just a little thing. He's showing he's blitzing. And Jatavian Sanders just misses him entirely. But that's a great blitz right there. It's just one of those like little things like here, we'll run this one back. Did it go black again? No, it didn't. Okay. So again, they're showing this up here, but when they run this route down, or it's Thielen or whoever, right? But they run a route that basically commands the attention of this safety to come down on it. And then they have another route going that's just in that open area. So watch it again here. It's all off of this stack up here, top of your screen. Motion out. So you see how Thielen takes the attention away and it leaves that opening right there. It's a good concept. That's a good play design. And that could be effective if our safeties aren't communicating the way they need to. Okay, cool. It went black on my end too. I'm not sure why film room's doing that. All right, so they're bringing some bodies in the run blitz. Okay, no gain, loss, maybe half a yard. It's a good stop by the Raiders defense there. Oof, that's what I'm talking about right there. Between two linebackers, and he makes this throw. I think we have the good angle to see this too. Yeah, here you go. All right, so they're showing a mug. Both linebackers are showing blitz. They bail out. That's a pretty tight window he just hit there. If you throw that thing anything less than 100 miles per hour, it's either getting deflected or picked. It's a good throw. It's a really good throw. So they call the pitch here, try to get to the edge of the defense, and the Raiders are having none of that. Watch them diagnose this and fly to the football here. Watch 41. Is this the touchdown? I feel like this is. No, it's next play. Sorry if I'm spoiling this game for you guys. The Panthers did win, by the way. Panthers, Commanders, Patriots all have more wins than the Bengals on the season. They pass off that movement on the D line well. They're rushing 4 against 5, and they're not really getting home. That's something to keep an eye on. We're not able to generate any pass rush. We are in trouble. They finally get there. They get a hit on Dalton, but look at that. That is a hell of a throw. Here, see it again. Number 9 just beats him straight off the edge. That's an elite throw. That's great ball placement, especially knowing you're getting hit there. All right, here we go. So Dalton's already got 2. All right, let's see here. Score is 14-7. You got just under 7 minutes to work here. You try to kill the clock, get a score going to halftime with an even bigger lead. Let's see what the Panthers plan to do here. Good vision. Chuba Hubbard has really good vision in the backfield. This is how the pistol look. You got 12 personnel. Tavian Sanders, he's spirited. He doesn't really do anything in the run game there, but you get a good gain anyways. Not upset about getting those gains in the run game. and it just gets blown up. Okay, so I don't know if anyone else saw that. I'll go ahead and I'll put this in slow mo for anyone who's curious. Go ahead and keep an eye right here. And keep an eye right here. They won the game. They weren't perfect, but this is a thing. So here, I'll just take it back. You have your tackle blocking your tight ends. I feel like there is some miscommunication there, to say the least. And this guy right here, he doesn't give a fuck. He's taking a straight line to your QB. And it also looks like 94 wins his right away. So, just to put it in perspective, you got 50 here. Not exactly sure what he's doing. This looks more like the Last Supper than it does an actual football play. You got a whole mess of 3 bodies here. You probably got 900 pounds of just human beings right here. But you got your center losing this. And your edge rusher, just his eyes lit up. All right, that's a thing, man. That's a thing. And watch the running back. Watch the running back. He also doesn't see it at all. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that play? Whew. All right. But hey, you know what? You're allowed to get away with that when you win games, right? And when no, he dropped it. I was supposed to say Adam Thielen just sits in that hole in his own defense. He picks it up. I can't get over that. That was a fail on so many levels. That was 2020 Bengals level fails. 2019 level fails right there. Ooh, if I ever see Amarius Mims do anything like that, I'm going to be so pissed. Oh, we're watching a punt. I broke my rule. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, 14-7. The Panthers are still up. You're starting this drive from your own 5-yard line. So you're starting to deepen your own territory. And they blow that shit up. Don't show Zach. He's going to try to use that play ASAP. What, the block your own teammate play? I think that's a good one. If you don't know what you're going to do, how's the defense ever going to know what you're going to do? Just think about that for a second, J-Dub. So now you're going 5 wide. You got blown up on first down. Just a quick out. Uh-oh. There goes Mingo, first down. Somewhere John Madden is punching air. All right. We talked about this before. One thing I absolutely hate that Lou Anarumo does, and he's always done it. Let's call this guy Sam Hubbard. Let's call this guy Trey Hendrickson, right? So when you're showing this, you have both your linebackers right here and right here. we called it a double mug, a mug, whatever, right? So you're showing 6 down. There's a lot of things you could do out of this. We saw the Raiders do it earlier, where you had basically just flipped these two guys around on either side, and you had both linebackers lined up over each A gap, and then they just kind of dropped out here into coverage. It's the one that Dalton just hit right there in the middle. What Lou likes to do out of this is he will drop a D end on either side. Not both, not typically both, but he'll pick one and he'll drop a D end here. This is something that just drives me crazy. I understand why they do it. They want to catch a quarterback sleeping. But when I really hate it is when you drop a slow and relatively unathletic guy like a D tackle into coverage. Like you do that to Miles Murphy, sure. Miles has the athleticism for it. A 9-something RAS, a freak athlete. You know, maybe you're doing it with the Sam Hubbard so he can spy Patrick Mahomes or, you know, something like that. Like, obviously, this is previous Sam Hubbard, not 2024 Sam Hubbard. But why you do it with the D tackle here, I'll never know. And again, it's the thing with this play for the Panthers, you got to think about down and distance. You got to think of situation in the game, where they're at on the field. They're leaving 5 guys in to block. They are backed up on their own 3.5 yard line. This isn't going to be a long throw downfield. This is going to be something quick. This is going to be basically an extension of your run game. So if you're going to show this look, bring this look, throw off the timing, because again, dropping your D tackle into coverage over the middle here. What? So a guy like Xavier Legette can run a drag? Like that's such a long developing play, especially being this far back, and with this guy right here, he can wreck your game if you hold on to the ball for too long, right? And maybe in a different down and distance. But again, let's say they're at their own 20 and they have that yardage to work with. Do you really want one of your D tackles basically dropping back into zone right here and letting an Xavier Legette run a drag? Do you think one of these guys is going to make a play on that? Absolutely not. Maybe on Adam Thielen because he's slow and unathletic now, but so watch this. So 69 bails out. What's he going to do? What's he going to do there? He's not going to do anything there. So if you're going to show that mug look, just bring the blitz there, right? That's just me though. That's how I look at it. Because again, you got to think about it critically. And that's another pick. They just dropped their second pick of the game, and that's a game-changing one right there. That would set you up on your opponent's side of the field. You're basically thinking 3 is a lock. 7 would be awesome. You've dropped 2 gifts from Andy Dalton. So again, you're showing Max Crosby makes a hell of a play. 98's different, man. 98 is one of my favorite players in the league to watch. He reads that the entire way. Just a special play by a special player. Again, it's not going to show up as anything other than a deflected pass, but also, why are you calling a screen to Adam Thielen? You got Xavier Legette. 4th down. They go to Tommy Trimble. He's just kind of getting the ball out quick. That's the kind of look that I wish we would have thought about giving, maybe, is not just showing and going. Maybe, like, here, let me go back to this. We saw it a couple times last week. This is so totally different than what we showed. When we would line up to blitz, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we would just tell them, hey, we're all going right now, right? Um, this is a little bit different because again, you got this edge over here, you got Spillane over here. You are showing that you have coverage. This could be, you know, a single high look right here. I mean, you think you're manned up all across. You are going to you have your running back in the backfield to block, but it's kind of an overload look over here. You got 4 guys rushing off of the one side of the line of scrimmage, one side of your offensive line, I should say. But it's mixing up your blitz looks and maybe just maybe trying to call a stunt. Again, we had a stunt where it looked like Trey and Chris were just kind of out of sync with each other. Um, but you got to mix something up on your D line. You got to give them something to think about. And this right here, because again, you'll see the linebacker loops around into like the A gap, B gap kind of area where the guard is, and they just slide the protection to pick it up. So again, you're giving them stuff to think about. Look how many bodies you have over here. You have Epps showing a blitz. You got a true edge right here. You got 2 D tackles over here. Yeah, you got all this area right here. You're almost begging him to run the football there and just see if they can get on this side. But you're giving them something to look at. Let me get this. There we go. So Epps does come. You slide everything this way, and the defense just flies up and they make the tackle.
What's going on, Brady?
What's up, J-Dub? How you doing, man?
Shit, chilling. Again, is McKinley Jackson eligible to play this Sunday?
We put him on IR, right?
Yeah.
So no, he won't be eligible until next week.
Ain't really?
Yeah, it's 4 weeks. You're out 4 weeks.
So Miles not coming back. What isn't Miles coming back this week?
No, he's not coming back till Ravens week at the earliest, which he should be ready to go. That sounds like what we're hearing, but yeah, nobody on IR is eligible to come back until Ravens week.
Man, he making it feel so long. Oh my God.
It's feeling longer because you're not winning.
Yeah.
So let's see the game situation here. You got a minute left. It's 14-7. You got pretty decent field position. You got 68 yards to go for a touchdown here. Good pass pro. Gets the ball out quick. Again, it's not the best decision in my opinion if you're running a 1 minute drill, 2 minute drill here, but maybe they had an extra timeout. Dalton just miscommunication there. Looks like there's some pressure as well. Yep. The pressure gets there just in time to fuck up the rhythm of that throw. So this is 3rd down here. It looks like 3rd and longish. Run this stunt on the inside that gets picked up, and there he goes. Wow. There goes Deontay Johnson. And they couldn't even tackle him in bounds either. Big play, and he gets out of bounds to save the clock.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous about this game.
With how bad our defense was on Monday,
Yeah.
there's every reason to be nervous every week going forwards. You never know when they're going to have a performance like that again.
But then it's like people, yeah, we can get on our secondary, but the secondary and D line has to work together. They are a product of each other. If the D line not getting pressure, the quarterback, of course, the quarterback gonna have all time, I mean, all day to make a decision or move around and make deep throws.
Dalton just threw a dime there too. 1 p.m. Andy Dalton is real.
And I'm not liking all this Geno Stone slander.
Gino, look, he wants to go talk about it on Twitter. Talk about it in the film room, man. Looks like you left your corner hung out to dry.
But let me just say this though, because there was lack of pass rush, Jaden Daniel just seen a one on one. Boom, Gino didn't have enough time to get in his spot because he's still backpedaling, seeing the play develop. One thing he knew, the ball already in the air, so he pressed the oh shit button and was hauling ass. That's
I
not
don't think
on
that
him.
quite matters. As soon as the ball snapped, you need to get to your landmarks. Um, you need to get to your spot on the field.
But wasn't it also one on one on the other side too?
I don't remember the other side of that play off the top of my head, but you do have another safety as
Well,
well
I'm thinking about the that McLaurin deep ball. Yeah, that was the McLaurin deep ball.
on CTB.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he did. I think there was safety help on the other side, though, if I remember correctly.
I thought they was in a couple one.
No, that might be one to pull back up. But again, regardless, Gino needs to be there. He needs to be able to read the play. That's what he did so well in Baltimore. He knew exactly where to be and what to do. And so far this season, he just hasn't done that.
Yeah, because the pass rush haven't been there.
Yeah. I mean,
He used to the pass rush getting there like that, so that give him time. Well, maybe that's just because he's not as fast of a processor.
mhm.
When you have lack of pass rush, so he has to actually read defense. Because in Baltimore, he just had to go, or they tell him where to go. But now in Lou D, you have to actually think.
Well, and I think we're starting to peel back the layers of the onion a little bit. We're starting to see the problem with Lou Anarumo's defense is it doesn't a good defense should always start up front at the line of scrimmage. You could have prime Darrell Revis, you can have prime Deion Sanders, you can have whatever safety you want. Pick any safety in the history of football, any corner in the history of football. You could put Brian Dawkins, Ed Reed, you can put any of those guys back there. If those three or four guys up front at the line of scrimmage aren't doing anything, they're going to eventually get beat. That's just the reality of it. And it's the same thing. You can talk about how good Barry Sanders is and how good Walter Payton is or Adrian Peterson or all these guys. They are only as good as the five dudes up front blocking for them. It's football is one of those sports where it's not basketball. It's not get the ball to Jordan, get out of the way, let him ISO someone and do what he does. There is no ISO in football like that unless you're doing an Oklahoma drill in practice, right? So while I understand Gino is feeling a certain type of way, and the D line definitely did leave everybody hung out to dry. Like that loss, it's not even fully on all the defense. That's on the front seven. But like I said, you can go take whatever DBs you want. You want Sauce Gardner, you want Patrick Surtain, you want uh, Jesse Bates back, you want all these guys back. If the D line
That's what I'm
isn't,
saying.
if they aren't doing what they're supposed to do, then that's that. But that's the thing is it's a Lou Anarumo scheme thing, and we thought just bringing in a guy who's an instinctual player is going to fix that. And again, like the D line wasn't there, but Gino also wasn't there on that play as well.
Yeah,
So
and I also got a thing to say. I But I came in like actually I came in late. Like you was about to close it up, but no, you was just ending the field thing. But I want to see, do you feel the same way? I really hate our zone defense because it's like no matter what, there's always somebody wide open. It's like I don't know if it's because we're not dropping back as far enough or our depth is not close enough. I just don't. It's like I said, well, you you even said it and you say about our zone, but it's like. I don't know what about it. It just pisses me off. Like I'd rather us. I feel more comfortable with us being the man than being the zone. But it's
um
like everybody else on zone against us, we get locked up. It's like what? Why can't we do that?
you know why we've gotten locked up in the past when other people run zone? It's these four guys against these five guys right here. That's really what football comes down to and is always going to come down to. Can you block these 4 guys with these 5? There's going to be different looks. They're going to show a zero blitz. They're going to try to do different things to confuse you. But can these 5 guys keep this guy upright? And on the flip side for the Bengals, Monday night, these guys did nothing. You can even talk about Trey Hendrickson. I'll circle Max Crosby. He's basically the Raiders' Trey Hendrickson. But
Man, he was getting packed up Monday.
But nobody was winning their battles up front consistently enough to get us off the field to play complementary football. Complementary football, if you want to be a winning and a good football team, these guys take you down the field. They get you 7. These guys, maybe it won't be a 3 and out, but they'll get you a stop, and now you got the ball coming right back the other way, right? Complementary football isn't having to go score for score. Complementary football isn't, oh, well, Joe Burrow lost you the game because he didn't score enough touchdowns in the red zone. He scored on every single drive outside of a missed field goal. He put you in scoring position on every single drive, and your defense couldn't force a punt. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to these guys right here. These guys, they basically cost you an entire game.
They practiced today,
right? They should be practicing today.
Good. Should have been practicing since yesterday.
But these guys right here, I think Chris Jenkins had moments. I think Lawrence Guy had moments. I think Sam Hubbard was terrible. I think Trey Hendrickson was terrible. I think Zach Carter was awful as well.
I want to get in the past because that man was getting like triple and double team. So that makes it even worse because what was everybody else doing? They had one-on-one across the board.
If you have Trey Hendrickson and they're dedicating a right tackle, a running back, and a tight end, and you're running a 4-3 defense, that means you have 3 other guys here against these 4. They're more than likely they're going to double team this guy. You got a one-on-one here and a one-on-one here. Or you could slide the guard out and you could double team the other edge. Regardless, somebody up there is going to be getting a one-on-one. And, Vike said we got to figure out how to get more pressure on defense is our biggest weakness right now. It's been our biggest weakness since we lost the AFC Championship game to the Chiefs. And it's the same thing that I warned Bengals fans about, because instead of going out and doing what a competent franchise does, which is go spend money and bring in a certified pass rusher, the Bengals unfairly set up Miles to be the pass rusher in year 1. Then they didn't give him any snaps. We all watched Miles in college, at least I hope we did. Miles is a freak athlete. He is a very good run defender. And he did get some pass rush production, but that Clemson D-line is stacked. And he needs time to develop and get used to the NFL speed and get used to the NFL game. And instead, the Bengals just said he's going to fix all of it. Instead of helping him out, they just put the weight of the world on his shoulders. And now they did the same this past offseason. We didn't bring in a true certified pass rusher. Miles is supposed to replace Sam Hubbard, and he definitely will with how bad Sam Hubbard has been. But
O'Shea was supposed to be the pass rusher. That hasn't been working out.
You're putting the weight of the world on these draft picks instead of helping these guys develop. Miles is a great value clone. I don't think great value clone to Garrett. And again, comparing anybody to Myles Garrett is very, very, very unfair to them because Myles Garrett's a 101. I think Myles is a freak athlete. I think he plays the run at a top-notch level. I think we saw it last year. But great value is so slanderous. I can't say great value. But you can't draft him in the first round and put the weight of the world on his shoulders. That's my thing. You can do that to a quarterback, but you can't do that to one guy on a defense. You know what I mean? Like, you need to let him learn. You need to let him develop. You need to get him snaps. And we didn't get him snaps at all last year. We kept putting Sam Hubbard out there instead of letting Miles develop and see what we had out of a guy who probably should have gone top 15 in last year's draft.
And I think some people, like, when they be on Twitter, we should get this player back. The main person I'm surprised people not saying is we can trade for is Larry Ogunjobi. Because when he left, that's really when our pass rush went down. Because he was the person getting that pressure up the middle. Then B.J. Hill coming off the bench. That's when they had. That's when was that his highest sack year or something like that? Or
Larry
he had a good.
Ogunjobi was crazy on that Super Bowl run. He was
Yeah,
crazy on that
then
Super Bowl run.
B.J. Hill coming off the bench, that allowed him to do his thing, and he had a lot of sacks, well, some good sacks there. Then that
And
allowed Trey Henderson to come around the side with the pressure up the middle to get them sacks.
here's the thing. I do agree with you, Vike. I think you're exactly spot on. Let's say you have Trey Hendrickson here and you have Miles Murphy here, right? They're still going to dedicate attention to Trey. That's just the way of things. If Miles starts getting loose off the edge here, which I think he will, they're just going to start dedicating right here, and they're going to ask one of these guys to win. And Sheldon Rankins has shown he can't win, and BJ Hill shown he can't win. Jay Tufele, again, good run stopper. He didn't have a great game on Monday. Um, why hasn't Osai developed properly? I don't know, man. I don't know. I know he's had injuries, but I don't think injuries are really an excuse. I think Hobby is a good defensive line coach. I don't know if he's a good developer of defensive line, right? Like, think all the guys we've drafted, how many have really hit, right? I mean, Cedric Johnson, he's young. You could go back. What we drafted Zach Carter, who hasn't hit. That was a waste of a pick. Miles, it's too early to tell. Miles is kind of the same as Amarius Mims, right? Um, but the last like true guy that we drafted and we developed in terms of edge rusher is probably Carlos Dunlap. And I think Miles can be on that Dunlap level. And we haven't had a true D tackle that we've drafted and developed since Geno Atkins. So, and that was Zimmer. Those were all Zimmer guys, and we all know what he is as a DC. I'm already hoping we go edge, DT, guard, first 3 rounds. Sign me up for that. I need everything in this draft to be right here. That's what I need. I need everything in this upcoming draft to be right here.
Next year, do you think we are in the market of draft?
Oh, you kind of went into a blender there, J Dub.
I was like, do you think we're going to be in the market to draft the safety next year?
Could be, could be. I
Like
would.
in the high round, though.
I, I think it depends on how the board falls. That's a little bit early, and I mean, I do have my thoughts on the draft already. I do. I am working on my draft sheet. We got some big football games this weekend. We got Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan State. I think is going to be a good game. I think Ohio State will win, but Michigan State's got some guys. Um, we're going to do more like draft stuff next week, but I mean, yeah, just in terms of the fix against for this season, what we can do, you got to get 99 on the field. You got to get 99 and you got to get 91 opposite of each other. Got to let Trey go. Got to let Miles go. That's it. The DT draft is very deep. We'll go over it again. We'll go over it next week. I will upload that. I got the YouTube channel set up. I finally figured out how to do playlists on there. So feel free to go watch anything back on YouTube. We'll kind of do I'll do a separate playlist for draft stuff on there as well that we do. Let me go ahead and get that link for you guys real quick before we start this.
See, the Bengals guy is already talking about draft talk in week 3. This is nasty. It's still September.
I was talking draft talk before week 1.
I'm talking about they got the whole fan base talking draft talk.
Those are the crash out peoples. Lou's got to dial up more simulated pressures early to keep opposing QBs from getting comfortable. I mean, I definitely agree. I also think maybe instead of just showing like, let's just say this is our look, and then you have the two linebackers in here, instead of just showing a traditional look like that, and maybe this is just something we can't do because we don't trust our D tackles to stand up and run game. Show like an overload to one side, make them slide the coverage. Maybe let a backside defender try to make a play here, or maybe instead of just showing like a true like zero look like we did. Oh, let me fix this. Maybe you just go 1, 2, 3, 4. You have Hilton. He'll actually be right here. But you just bring Hilton off of this and you let the safety over the top take this guy right here. Something like that. You got to mix it up instead of just showing like, oh, everyone's yelling for a blitz. Let me just show a 0 and that's it. But we'll get it back moving again. We're going to watch some Panthers defense. I'm not too worried about the defense. I don't really know. Again, last week I feel like we were kind of spot on when we watched the Commanders defense, saying that they couldn't really fuck with us, and they really couldn't. They did stop us in the red zone, but then again, I think a JV team could stop us in the red zone at times with our
You want to
decision
know the
making.
toughest defensive play I seen against us, and it
Mm,
just happened this year when we played the Chiefs. And
yeah,
when they sent that blitz and sacked Joe, but the one blitzer got picked up, then the one was just behind him, and Joe didn't like that was the toughest defensive play I seen. I
it's
used
going to
to
get
say Rue was
worse.
better than Spags, but Spags is different.
You know who's going to cook us this year that I'm afraid of is that Steelers defense. Their defense is legit. Their corners, I'm not the biggest fan of. The D line is disgusting. You can't run on them. You can't pass on them. You always have to leave in an extra blocker.
But I'm pretty sure it's not gonna make that much big of a difference. But what's his name? Highsmith,
Alex
the other
Highsmith,
side.
yeah,
Yeah, he gonna be out for a couple of weeks.
yeah. He'll be back by the time we play them, though.
Oh, of course, they always do.
So again, they're running a 12 personnel here. 12 personnel out of pistol, play action, kind of turns into a little screen. It's good play design. I will say the coach for the Panthers, he was the OC, Dave Canales. He was the OC for the Buccaneers, who kind of revitalized Baker Mayfield's career last season. He is a very, very good game planner, and his play design is impeccable. Great play caller, great play design. Then again, it is just kind of crazy that the moment you change your quarterback, everything starts working. Bryce Young's got to be somewhere just like fuck me, I guess.
And also, I like doing the in the shoes thing. If you was the Panthers OC, what would be your attack for our defense? Or what would you want to do if he was playing against us?
Um,
Seeing
I would
now,
I would establish the run game. I would let my guards try to get to that second level. Um, I would disrespect the Bengals D tackles, and I would set everything up with a solid running game. I would take what the defense gives me on early downs to set up for convertibles on second and third. Um, and then I would just again like it's being multiple in the approach. I would go from that 12 personnel to that kind of funky like pistol. I would go straight to 11. Maybe 11's going to be kind of difficult with Adam Thielen being out, but I would give you different looks. I'd mix and match the personnel, but out of all personnels, I'd probably just keep attacking the middle of that defense and force them to make a stop. It would, I would even if I got it to fourth and short on my side of the field, I would probably think about going for it because if you're the Panthers, you cannot respect the Bengals defense. You can't respect them at all. So
so what about the passing attack?
the passing attack would be secondary to me. I wouldn't care about it.
Or you just want to run through our faces?
Force you to make a stop. I'd force you to
Who
make a stop.
who's their running backs?
They have Chuba Hubbard, and next week they'll be getting back Jonathan Brooks.
Oh, I'm so glad he not playing this week. Wait, didn't
And just
Chuba Hubbard play when we played them in 22?
I think so. But 22 is a different defense. 22 is a much different defense. Again, just quick things like that are an extension of the running game. I would my entire goal would be win on first, second down, make it 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. This defense can't stop anybody on 3rd and 1.
You sure? You sure? We sure can.
So,
And I hit us with some play action.
oh yeah, once the run game's established and I got your safeties cheating, then I'm going to kill you with play action over the top. I'm going to
Cause y'all
force you to
know we can't
tackle in
stop the run.
space. Yeah, I'm going to run directly at you. I'm going to force you to tackle in space. I'm not gonna worry about anything deep down the field until I have you guys completely suffocated. If I'm the Panthers, that's my goal. And
And then keep Joey B off the damn field. That's
yeah,
also another thing.
I'm going to control the time of possession. I'm going to run the football down your throats until you stop it. And if you can't stop it, then hey, have a fun off season.
Have a fun off. Go
That's
ahead
I
and
mean,
forfeit the rest of the games and say we on 2025. Get the scouts, even though they probably still gonna be. That's crazy. Even if the scouts get an upper hand, they still not gonna find the right players. I
I'm
think they
not
find
I'm
out the
not doing
prospect
that.
from the media people.
I tell you, I'm not calling that. I'm not calling a play action off of 1st and 10. Just set myself up for second and long. I would refuse to have any down and distances this game where I got to throw the football 3 times in a row. You're not getting off the hook that easily. If I'm throwing the football on first down, it's going to be a screen. It's going to be an extension of the run game. It's going to be a quick hitter. It's going to be something like that. I am not pushing the ball downfield on first and second down until you prove to me that you can stop the run.
Yo, they really blew out the Raiders, bro. Like, and they just beat Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
You doing their defense tomorrow?
I think I'll do defense today.
Because I want to see what was they doing with Devontae Adams.
I like what I saw from Jenkins with the few snaps he got on Monday. I did too. I think Jenkins is one of the few bright spots on defense. I think I had everyone else failing in that game. Like every single other defender I saw, I think I gave a failing grade to, except for Chris Jenkins, who got a C+ from me.
I mean, Logan didn't have a terrible game.
No, Logan was. When you go back and you rewatch it, Logan was not good. Missed on some fill opportunities at the line of scrimmage. He missed some tackles.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Yeah, man. Dang, you right. Our whole defense was cooked. We got cooked by. Hey, I meant to ask you last week, and I asked you about our record against rookie quarterbacks. It's bad. 3-9 is crazy.
It's awful. Lou's so afraid of getting beat over the top, he won't bring pressure. So everyone who plays is going to walk around down the field underneath plays. Yeah. Look at this. I'm going to get you in space. I'm going to get the ball to a playmaker, and I'm going to force you to tackle.
See, it's
I
plays
get
like
that's
that scare me with our defense.
yeah, because instead of actually making the tackle, I believe this is 3rd and long right here. Our defense would fuck around and face mask,
Try to
illegal
strip
hands
the
to the
ball, then
face.
not tackle.
Yeah, try to strip the ball here, just push him downfield for another 17 yards. It's all the dumb shit our defense does.
Oh yeah, we need to start with that. We need to hit the weight room. I'm tired of them getting 2 yards and then everybody just keep pushing and it end up being a 6 or 7 yard game.
Panthers are up 27-7 at this point in the 3rd quarter.
They need to take some steroids. I'm tired of this.
I'm tired of them just going for the strip, hit somebody.
I think that 21 seed and 22 seed and getting to their head when when they was doing it, it was working. Now it's not working. They keep doing it.
Yeah. Put your helmet on the football, force a fumble that way. Do it the old school way. You don't always have to go for a strip. There are certain situations where, yeah, I get it, but you don't have to, in the first quarter.
I can see
Just
if we do it and make the tackle at the same time, they just go all in for the strip. Don't even care. Then
you
we
have
got our
four people going
corners.
for a strip.
Then
You
we
have no
got
one
our
securing the
corners
tackle.
want a freaking slide ankle tackle. Like, what is that? I hate that tackle. I hate that form of tackling. That give me you scared.
So they had a good drive starter. They had an 11-yard gain. They followed up with a run on 1st and 10.
But it was
Again,
at 12. That 12.
yeah, that
Man,
looked like 12.
I'm scared about this when they in 12 personnel. We can't even get to the quarterback when it just five linemen.
I'm worried about number 17 too. Get the ball out to a playmaker in space, and there's an easy first down.
Would you have CTB on Leggett or on Deontay Johnson?
I'd have CTB on Leggett, I think,
You gonna trust Dax on Deontay Johnson?
with safety help over the top. Yeah, I don't think Dax has been that bad this entire season. I get he got beat, but that's an incredible throw. The quarterback got smacked. That's just one where it's almost like you have a hand in the guy's face and he still hits the shot. And it's like all right, what else am I supposed to do? I'm
I
playing
mean, he did
defense.
bite on a double move, which
A
allowed
little
him to
bit,
use that space. And all
a
you
little
need
bit,
in the lead is that one little bit of space.
yeah. But even then, you have the sideline there. You have kind of the extra defender, and it's a great throw.
Or he could have just pushed him out of bounds when he caught the ball. He did jump in the air.
Look at that Raiders bear front, just gets ran through.
That wasn't a bear front. That was a cub front.
So again, the Panthers are just they've had a couple turnover worthy plays in the first half. They're just kind of walking the Raiders down the field, just taking what the defense gives them. Controlling the game, controlling time of possession, controlling the scoreboard. No worries, no stress. Ugh. More bad tackling. Easy first down.
When was the last time Dalton threw a 300-yard game?
I think he did for the Saints, if I'm not mistaken. Oof.
That's our type of defense right there.
That's some Bengals defense right there.
Yep.
Watch this. You have an opportunity to tackle him near the line of scrimmage.
Whoopsies.
Ugh.
The Panthers, bro. See, it's like when Dalton played, he just made them all look good now.
He throws a fade here. That's PI. No.
say
Looked
if
like
Bryce Young
he's
was playing, I wouldn't be nervous, even if we was still 0-3.
at their last play of the game. Um, let's see here. No, I can't be.
Was that the last play?
And not, but Ilmerim is just acting so jank right now. Here we go.
Hey, Brady, you need to
Okay,
ask the
it just
Bengals if
jumps
you
in.
can help them with their film study.
They don't want that. Pressure
Yeah.
gets there, but he had a guy open.
Yeah, they probably gonna say you being too mean or something. They like that nice stuff.
That Charmin soft stuff. They don't do tough love at Paycor.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're gonna take the hit, you might as well make a better throw.
The one thing I can say, Dalton gonna give you one. Well, he's gonna give you one.
Yeah, he's got that Joe Flacco in him. Oh, they're six though. They're just bullying the Raiders right now. I need this coaching staff to get on the ass. Zach being too soft. I mean, I think there's a fine line. I think Bill Belichick, and again, not everyone's Bill Belichick, but his leadership style was damn near perfect in my opinion. Like the players who played for him loved him, but he's also a hard ass. Like that's kind of what you want. You know, you want someone who's going to push you to your absolute limits to be the best you can be,
Let's get
but
Nick
someone who's
Saban.
also your biggest advocate.
Yeah, let's get Nick Saban at this point.
I don't think Nick Saban's a good NFL coach, if I'm going to be honest.
Why you think that?
College and the NFL are two totally different things. Like I think Urban and Nick Saban, I think all those guys they're great in college, but you have more control in college. In the pros, it's more of a player dominated league. You can't be a Nick Saban type control freak in the NFL. You have to let some of that control go. But that's what made Bill Belichick so great was he had everyone buy into that Patriots way. That's what made Tom Brady and him perfect counterparts. They're both motherfuckers. They're both going to talk shit. They're both going to get under your skin. They're both going to push you. They're both not going to tolerate like the shit that we saw on Monday. Like the Patriots with Tom Brady and with Bill Belichick, they wouldn't have accepted that. And they would have said it right after in the press conference. And they wouldn't have been nice about it. They wouldn't have, tried to play patty cake with everybody and protect people's feelings and their professional pride. Like, no, if you fucked the game up, you fucked the game up.
Like his remark on what CTB said. He said we don't what do you say? What did he say?
We don't do
He
that
was,
here.
yeah, we don't do that. Well, if you don't do that, he would have been doing it back to back weeks if y'all don't do that. So apparently he thinks it's okay. And
Sometimes you got to have an
that's not
asshole.
that mean he's not listening to you.
Sometimes you got to have an asshole in a leadership position. You can't always be nice. You can't always have everyone like you. You can't always be a pushover. Sometimes you just have to be a dickhead to get things done.
That's why people want to come here because they can do whatever they want to do.
And people are mad about Mike Brown. Mike Brown's at least a dickhead in contract negotiations. We just need to be a dickhead in the locker room too. Like it's football. You're not supposed to be nice. You don't have to be buddy buddy and sing kumbaya. Go do that shit in soccer. Which again, I like the English Premier League. You can be nice with everybody over there. This isn't a nice league. This isn't a nice sport. It's a
At
gladiator
all.
sport. You're lined up to take someone's head off. Like, you see this right here? You see all those guys at the line of scrimmage? They want to kill number 14. They don't want to just touch him on the shoulder pads and say, hey, good job, man. No, you're lined up and you're not preying on injuries. You're not trying to end anybody's life, but you're not trying to injure anybody, but you're trying to hurt whoever is lined up across from you. You want to make them like from as far back as middle school, high school, whatever. You want to hit somebody so hard they don't want to step on the field again. And that's just you don't see that with the Bengals, right? I think you have some guys like that. You have some guys with that mean streak. But again, football is a violent sport. It is not a nice sport. And if you don't like violence, this isn't the sport for you. Go watch, horseback riding, or go watch, I don't know, gymnastics in the Olympics or track and field or something where they're not running at each other as fast as they can and trying to hurt each other on every side. Like, again, there's a difference between injuring guys and hurting guys. So don't misconstrue this. I'm not wishing injuries on anybody, and I'm not saying that. But when you are on the football field and you're between those lines, you are legally trying to do everything you can to make someone question every life decision they made to get to this point. That's just the kind of game it is. So if you don't have the kind of people who are capable in the locker room of getting guys ready to go to war, ready to go fight, ready to go kill people every week, then you don't have the right leadership in the locker room. And, you saw that dog mentality in 21. You saw that in 22. You had those guys ready to go week in, week out. We lost some games we probably shouldn't have. You had the fucking game in 21 against the Browns. You lost to them. But you were ready to go for the Ravens. You were ready to go for the Steelers. You lost to the Browns again when you rested all your starters. Who gives a fuck? The Packers were a better team than you that season. And you still showed up with something to prove, and you fought your ass off in that game until the end of it, right? How many of those games did we just get dog walked and we never bounce back, right? That's the kind of mentality I'm talking about. Like, we got kind of killed in the Bears game, but we bounced back in that game. We had an opportunity to win it. You can go through 22. You had an opportunity to win the Steelers game. You should have won the Steelers game. You had an opportunity to win the Cowboys game. You probably should have won that one. The only game you're really out of was the Halloween game where you found out your coach died right before kickoff. You found out one of your best players was going to be going on IR. So this is a compete thing. This is an attitude thing. And the team I don't think they have the voices in the locker room who are competitors, who are dogs like that. I think Joe's got some of that in him, but Joe's not a vocal out there leader. We all know that. Maybe, and he said it, maybe I have to change my leadership style. I think you do. You're making $55 million a year. You shouldn't be afraid to step on some toes. That temper we saw against the Cardinals, where someone fucked up in a game where you're up and you're winning by a lot and it's convincing, you need more of that. You need some of that on defense too. And I think we just kind of lost that with Jesse, with DJ Reader, with these guys leaving, and you didn't replace them with equivalent parts. And veteran leadership is such an important thing. And that's my thing though. I don't trust the coaching staff to get these guys ready to go week in, week out. And you can sit there and have all the fun bulletin board, locker room material and all that, but you still have to be ready to go every single week. And I just feel like we're not. I feel like we're not with this coaching staff and with the leaders in the locker room. That's two different levels of leadership that I think are failing this team currently right now. I think that was Zach being a player coach, call Burrow soft or something. I mean, yeah, I think they're both kind of soft. I don't think Burrow's soft, like in that aspect. I think he's a tough guy, but I do think Joe could do a bit more vocal leadership. Like Bryce just said, it's time for Joe to be Brady vocal wise. Exactly. And hate him all you want. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on him. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. Patrick Mahomes could go out there and win 8 rings. He still, every time he ran into Tom, didn't get it done. And the Chiefs had better rosters than Tom did. I would say 2 out of those 3 times they played. And Tom still took him to the woodshed all 3. So there's something to be said. There's something to be said for being an asshole. Aaron Rodgers was an asshole. Green Bay is consistently winning their division, making the playoffs. They would just choke in the playoffs.
Yeah, they already don't like Joe, so man, just go with it.
Yeah. If the league already hates you, just go be a dickhead. Just embrace it. Just embrace it. Go rip teams' hearts out. Go do your goodbye wave you're doing in college. Like, that's what I don't understand is when it was college, when it was LSU, we saw him. We saw him do all this shit where it's like, yeah, this guy's got that fire. It feels like in the pros so far, he's taken a back seat and he's respected these guys too much.
That's what.
So,
Yeah, I don't like him like that. You know when he do that little, "Hey guys, I'm Joe." I don't like that. They don't care who you with. Like in that Super Bowl, say, "Hey Vaughn, I'm Joe." This man freaking bent your leg. Do you think he care about that?
go be an asshole. His dad probably told him to turn it down for the NFL. Ashley
Like
said, I
this
need
man was
Joe.
a demon in college.
Ashley said, I need Joe to stop being so politically correct in his press conferences. I understand that you have to have decorum at the mic, but show that you're pissed and that it's not okay to be where the team is at right now. I don't want to hear there's no panic and we've been here before. You're 0-3, act like it. Exactly. The time for being calm and being patient, it's kind of over. Start being a dickhead. You are the leader of the franchise. I don't give if I'm Mike Brown and Joe walks into my office and says, I want these guys gone, I'm telling him, who do you want me to hire to pack them up? Like, where do you want me to ship them to? Like, what do you like? What severance package should we give him, Joe? Like, he controls everything the Bengals do because without Joe, there is no Bengals. We're not the same team. We are not competitive. We're probably still in the throes of the post Andy Dalton years of, hey, we won 6 games this year. Maybe next year we'll make it to 500 or 9-7, or maybe we'll sneak into a wild card and lose in the playoffs again. Like, without Joe Burrow, this shit isn't moving, right? And without Joe Burrow, you don't make a Super Bowl. You don't make an AFC championship. You don't break the curse. You don't win any playoff games. Joe needs to understand that and realize that and not give a fuck. Being polite and all that stuff is awesome, however
Hey,
many
that's that
months of
off
the year.
season stuff being nice. That's that
Yeah.
off season stuff.
Yeah, go be nice with Odell Beckham in July. Go be nice with him at Michael Rubin's white party. Go be a dickhead as soon as August hits. I need you to be a piece of shit from August to February. I want everybody to hate you if they're not performing to their utmost abilities on Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, whatever.
Like Mahomes ain't nice.
I think Mahomes is a little nice. I just think Mahomes gets by because he's got better coaching and better talent around him. That Chiefs roster is better than our roster. But
We can't compare the Chiefs. They got those black and white demons on their side.
and on top of that, the Chiefs are also willing to pay to keep veteran leadership all around Patrick Mahomes. I don't think Mahomes is like that. I don't think he has that level in him. And I think if Mahomes ever faces what Burrow faced early in his career, I think Mahomes folds. I think Mahomes with if he had the worst offensive line in the NFL like Joe Burrow did the year we went to the Super Bowl, I think Mahomes is closer to Gardner Minshew or Bryce Young than he is Joe
I
Burrow,
mean,
Josh Allen.
we saw it happen in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And they still talk about, oh my God, he was he threw an insane pass that wasn't completed, and he lost by 20 points or whatever it was. Like, okay, cool, still lost to the greatest quarterback of all time. I agree. You can be
Mm.
respectful and stern at the same time. No one's asking Joe to cuss the whole team out and treat them inhumanely. Yeah. I mean, again, if he wanted to cuss the whole team out for that performance and say, I did my shit, what did y'all do? I in situations like what happened on Monday, I wouldn't mind. You can't do it all the time. Tom and Bill did it in the right way. Peyton Manning did it in the right way. Peyton Manning had a Hall of Fame center, and he told the guy to shut the fuck up and block. Like, he didn't want to hear anything else from him. And they probably squared that away afterwards when the cameras weren't rolling. But if you're in the heat of the moment and shit's not going that way, you need a vocal leader on that sideline to step up instead of a guy to just sit there and look at his iPad, you know? And easier said than done, but it's just, Joe Burrow's wired that way. I feel like he's just kind of he's hiding it a little bit. He doesn't want to let that out, you know.
Yeah, like all that cool and nice stuff was good for that good 2 year run, but now it's time to when people was down y'all, now like people is trying to kill y'all, is out to kill y'all. Like we gotta change with the times. Like the front office, we need to change during the time with the times.
It's time to be a demon.
I don't know about you, but I don't mind having that villain arc.
Not at all. The target's already on your back. Do what you need to do.
You already know they finna go out there during stretch and be dancing and shit. Like they not 0-3.
I mean, you do
Like
have to
no,
be loose, but
no music. They be having any music, but no music. No, we don't need music. Y'all 0-3. Y'all don't deserve music.
I think that's fair. No music at practice this week. I like that.
They ain't freaking destroy that locker room. Bring the wood back.
Bring the ping pong table. No, they don't get the ping pong tables until they win, LJS.
We not finna reward them with fun with being 0-3.
Yeah, I think they should have to go work out of the visitors' locker room for a little bit.
Yeah, put them in the visitors' locker room until they win the game. They don't deserve that locker room. Hey, matter of fact, throw Joe Microwave out.
Remember last year they played Kirk Franklin in the locker room and then won? Which week was that?
Then they too spoiled. They acting like spoiled brats right now.
They're playing gospel music.
And
Maybe
I'm
that's all they
surprised Zach.
get this week. They get Lecrae, and that's it.
I'm surprised Zach don't tuck him in and read him a bedtime story at night. He probably would if he could.
Week 3, okay, yeah, gospel music, and when you start winning games, that's all you get. It's gospel.
Somebody said, "Oh, they need to turn off the Wi-Fi. 0-3 teams don't deserve Wi-Fi."
Get rid of the Chargers. Get rid of the locker room. Get rid of all of it. That's for winners.
Hey,
Losers
they
don't
don't need
get
to be
that.
on their phone anyway, as long as it's not filmed. They need to be on film. Freaking bring the old freaking those tapes. Bring the tapes back.
Bring
No
back
water
the moldy
breaks.
ass. Go back to
Dang.
practicing outside all year. Get the asbestos back in the building. You're right. Why are we going to cater food for you guys and give your families nice shit in the boxes when you're losing like that? These are perks
They
of
need
being a winner.
they need to practice on the highway, that little street before they get to the practice field. They can practice right there. Close off the fit, close off
Oof.
the road,
You see
and just let them
Devontae?
practice right there.
Or no, it wasn't
Right,
Devontae. Who was that?
number 11.
That wasn't Jacoby Myers. He's seven, or he's not
I
17.
I know his name. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I really can't. What is it? What is his name?
A post. All right.
It's not Palmer. It's something with a.
Here, I'll pull up the Raiders depth chart real quick. I haven't even focused on them yet. I just know that they have our buddy Forrest's favorite quarterback in the NFL.
And Joe pissed me off. I'm not gonna list one thing Joe pissed me. I'm tired of seeing when we go back to film. he has players wide open. He do check downs like that kills me, and it's been consistent.
Number 11, Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker from UC, I believe, right?
Oh yeah, tuck truck.
Tuck truck. All right, here we go.
He would got some extra yards. Mm.
That's a hell of a throw by Minshew, though, to get them down here. Look at that. Look at that 12 personnel with Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer.
I forgot Brock. Oh snap! Man, Brock Bowers got beat like that.
That doesn't help your agenda, does it?
No,
There he goes in
no, man.
motion. It's a good block right there.
You see that
Good block.
block?
It's a good block. I think Eric All decleats the guy, but that's a good block by Brock.
Nah, Brock Bowers. Nah, I'll trade Brock Bowers for Eric All right now.
I think most people would. Eric All's good though, man. Eric All is really good.
Yeah, but he's not Brock Bowers.
I
I'll
don't.
trade Eric All Glock for Brock Bowers right now.
Don't you
And
talk about Glock
Jasicki.
Glock like that?
And Jasicki.
I mean, yeah. Gesicki's good though. I don't mind Gesicki. He's the best tight end Joe Burrow's ever had until Eric All takes over.
And I have a bone to pick on. He need to start coming down with these balls. Pause.
Pause. That's a big pause.
I didn't have no other way to word it.
No, not Michael Mayer, dude.
Man, he let me down. I can't believe I was fiending over him.
Michael Mayer's
No, it wasn't
good,
my
man.
fault. It was Zim's fault.
That was just a bad throw by Minshew.
Cause I ain't really like I heard of him, but it's like I ain't think he was like a threat.
Look at this 12 personnel they're running. You got Bowers. Why does it keep doing this? Film room is nasty today. You got Bowers. You got Mayer. You got Adams. You got Tucker down here. You got all
What
these
cover is
weapons.
they in?
Looks like they're dropping back into a zone coverage here. Everything's kind
Throw the
of
ball.
jumbled. I think he got the first on the scramble. Gardner Minshew getting a little shiesty on him.
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
Don't compare Minshew to Burrow.
Look at this. Look at this, man. It's a little Burrow-esque.
See, Burrow would have threw it back to Mayer because Joe should have did that. That's not even shiesty because Joe wouldn't even do that. He could have did it, but didn't.
Offset I form with Mayer as the fullback. Oh, I don't think they got that. That's close.
I think he got in. Like, why can't we do that? We always got to pass.
I think because our interior O-line gets blown up on these goal line sets so often, makes us a little timid.
Then what the hell?
Now they got in.
All day.
He just got there before the knee went down. All right.
Like, what's the point of the sled if you can't go 1 yard up in the run pass? That's why they so stale in the run game now.
All right, here we go. They get the ball back. Great field position at the 40.
Throw it to Brock, bro.
Why throw it to Brock when you got Devontae Adams?
See, I'm gonna be pushing this agenda till he cooks us.
And then you're gonna say fuck Brock Bowers.
Yeah, only for like 1 day, and I'm like, oh yeah, Brock Bowers. I need Brock Bowers in the playoffs, brother. Yeah, I need Brock Bowers in the playoffs.
You know what you can do is you can go pick up Madden 25 and you can go trade for him.
And
Hmm.
like Joe Burrow and Brock Bowers, that's crazy.
Yeah, just send like next year's first and send somebody else.
T Higgins.
You're sending T. Higgins and a first for Brock?
Man, I would trade T Higgins for Brock Bowers right now.
Ugh, I don't
Like,
even
no,
think I
I'm just
would.
kidding. I'm just kidding. But
T's good.
would you
What would
trade
I
Burton for Bowers?
with the pick? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we don't even use him, so it's like, eh.
I would say I would definitely send Jermaine Burton for Brock Bowers, but um, I wonder what you'd have to give up. That's a third round for a first round. You probably have to give Burton and next year's first, maybe a little bit
Oh
more.
no. Oh no.
IRL, because Madden's trade engine's like bugged. You could send Trent Brown and get like a first round pick, probably. He's like a 90 overall or some shit.
We can probably do
89.
a 2026 first round.
Bryce said I got Madden. You can't do it on there. I have Madden. I haven't tried trading for him. Got to put the trade setting on very hard. I don't even pause. I don't even fuck with that, to be honest. I just play the game.
Y'all ain't damn pause patrol.
Yeah, I will say like there are some pause worthy things, but then again, in here we call Tanner McLaughlin Glock. So
It was this one pause moment that happened in the game money. I forgot what it was. But it was nasty. But I think everybody was so pissed off they didn't even recognize it. That one was hilarious.
I traded for JPJ and put him at guard on the Bengals. Shout out to JPJ, also
Wait,
another
but
Raider.
he is playing.
Yeah, they got JPJ and Bowers. They got two of my draft guys.
Do you see him blocking?
So here's what I'll say: watching the Panthers in coverage a little bit, it's clearly DPI, but it looks like they can be exposed in the pass game. Which again, I think with the Bengals having their full plethora of weapons, kind of like what we saw against the Commanders, maybe not as prolific, but I do think you are set up for a very good game offensively against
Is
these
Nick
guys.
Scott playing? Is he
Nick
starting?
Scott is playing. Nick Scott, I believe, is a starting safety for them right now.
Barbecue chicken, Jamar Chase. But y'all already know he's gonna play like freaking freaking what's his name? It's losing my head, bro. Oh, what is his name? Brian Dawkins.
he's gonna be prime Brian Dawkins on
Yeah,
Sunday.
because I know everybody turned into a Hall of Famer when they play against us, even if they came from us and was trash. He probably gonna catch a pick from Burrow. Let me knock on wood.
No. Next week is a bad week for Burrow's first interception. He hasn't
Is this
thrown
the
one yet
he
this
ever
year.
win without throwing a pick?
What's up?
Is this the first? Is this the longest they ever went without throwing a pick? Start of the season?
Um, trying to think. I think so. I think so.
Yo, my QB like that. They better stop disrespecting my QB.
So again, the Raiders are just kind of stalling out a little bit.
I know why.
Why is that?
Because they not passing the Brock Bowers.
Well, here's their next drive. OPI. Then on 1st and 20, Minshew gets sacked. So 2nd and 23. Then an incompletion on 2nd and 23. a completion for 6. They punt the ball away. Then they get the ball to Brock Bowers here. Let's see what happens here. I'm just going to skip that entire drive. It looks like a penalty just set them back. So Brock Bowers, oh, he's just wide open over the middle. Look at him. Look at your guy, J-Dub. Takes it immediately into Panthers territory.
Rocky boy. Listen, he knows that.
Oof.
Say, bro. Eric Cole is not doing that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Give Eric
Getting
all
duped by a
some
tight
time.
end is nasty.
I think you could do more with Eric All than you can with Brock Bowers. I think Brock Bowers is still a better tight end. And Brock got injured here too.
He be out. He a bulldog.
He's all right behind. He's all right until he gets behind the wheel of a car, right? Isn't that the Georgia way?
Yeah. That goes for Mims too.
Shit, that's right. Who's driving Mims to the game every week? Is it going to be Burrow? Can we trust Burrow to do that?
Man, I don't even think Burrow can fit in the car with him.
We might have to airlift Mims into Paycor.
Man, I think Mims got a truck.
He's a big boy. He better have a truck. Oh, missed tackle there.
I wouldn't be able to pick his big ass up either.
Well, if Mims wasn't there, how would they have gotten Trent Brown up? Would they have used a forklift?
A forklift is.
I mean, those are some big human beings, bro.
Well, I can't tell how many times he was getting put on his ass. But do you think that injuries because he's overweight?
Could be. I'm not a doctor. I just think his knee just rotated awkwardly when he dropped back, like into his set, and it was kind of unfortunate. So they're setting up for a long field goal. And they miss it. And your holder just got killed by a guy in the Panthers. Did you guys see that?
See, there's no way we shouldn't be able to do what we want to do with this defense.
Watch this holder. Watch what happens to him. Oh, no, it bans away. Hold on. Here we go. I'll show you on the sideline real quick.
Why was he still in the position?
I have no idea. And again, playback does this. Or not playback, but film room. Here you go. Watch this right here. Watch 94.
That's a Panther type thing to do.
All right, so field goal is no good. You're down 21-7 going into half. Brock Bowers returns to the game here. So there you go, J-Dub. Get excited.
I got him on my fantasy team.
On 4th and 6, there's a hold. Are there really any drives where they kind of start moving the ball again?
It's a football game tomorrow.
There is a football game tomorrow. That's why we're doing all this right now. All right, so
we
first
have
of all,
Monday games. The week go by so fast.
we got the scores 33-7 in the fourth quarter. We're going to pick up here. They're going 5 wide. Your game's kind of shot. You're down 26. You need a drive starter, so you get to trade Tucker, pick up the first.
Why don't we do that? We just let the receivers block.
Because our offensive line isn't athletic enough to get out there.
We got big Mims.
Well, we got Mims now, but up until now, we haven't had athletic enough O linemen.
Because that's what he did in college.
Oh, yeah, Mims would get in open field and kill people in college. You saw a couple clips of that when we were watching him.
I know he was a dog when he don't even wear gloves. That's a Trey Henderson type shit.
No gloves. No gloves, no hand tape, nothing.
Like, that should scare you automatically.
That's how you know a dude's not right in the head. Playing O-line without gloves is wild.
Mims got aura.
Maybe it's just because they don't make gloves big enough to fit his hands.
Well, I ain't even think about that.
Like that. Have you seen the picture of him holding a coney before?
Oh, it looked like a gummy.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to eat an edible.
I be seeing how, bro, when he take off his helmet, he make the helmet look so small. Like his whole hand can grip the top of the helmet.
I thought you were going somewhere else when you said his whole hand can grip, and I was about to pause the fuck
wait,
out of you.
But it felt good to have a lineman from a Power 5 school.
I mean, we did just draft a lineman who played left and right tackle, went to University of Alabama in the first round. He was the first lineman taken in that draft.
Oh, you talking about Jonah Killums?
Mm-hmm.
Cause he get motherfuckers killed? No, Jonah Williams is a terrorist.
I'm glad my agenda seeped through. I've been pushing that.
Like,
Look at Minshew. That's a crazy ass throw right there.
nah, that was a little my homie.
So far we said Minshew's got a little shiesty in him. He's got a little Mahomes in him. His only
God.
setback is he's actually bad at football a lot of the time.
Yeah.
There's Brock Bowers getting a catch for you.
Bro, his separation is crazy.
And even when he's not getting separation, he's making contested catches. Panthers really aren't getting home with 4. They do have Jadeveon Clowney, the guy who ended Burrow's season last year.
I want to see how Mims gonna do against him.
Pack him the fuck up, Mims.
Their zone looking like our zone defense.
Yeah. But you can play this kind of zone when you're up 26 points and you're just wanting to kill the clock and get out of there.
Oh, yeah, we just do it for no reason.
So now you're up 20. So what, are they going to go for 2? Yep, they're going to go for 2.
Like, did you see that speed come from that motion?
Mm-hmm.
You should have threw it to Bowers.
Ooh. What a catch.
I ain't see it. I was looking at Bowers. Man.
You were just fantasizing about Bowers?
Yeah, but like, just look. Look, he's already open off the motion.
Look at this. Look at this catch in the back of the end zone, though.
No, that's a dot.
That's some Yoshi action right there. Okay, so they got 8 on that drive. So now they are down 18 points. And it looks like they take Minshew out. So Yeah, well, it looks like he threw a pick, and that kind of ended the game. So it looks like the rest of this is just kind of Aiden O'Connell. They score another, kind of nothing touchdown against some backups. Make the game look a little bit closer here. I'll show you this again in the red zone. These are kind of your maybe a couple ones, some twos, some threes. That might have helped someone. No, never mind. I thought it was Devontae. Never mind. I was going to say it might have helped someone in fantasy football, but unless you're in a 16-man league, there isn't really a reason to start Trey Tucker. So
Brock Bowers was opened again.
again, good. There goes Jackson Powers Johnson right there.
Look at that athleticism. What is going on with their line? Like on field goal. Like what's going on?
So your final looks like you end up losing by 14 there. This is their last offensive play. They score with under a minute left. Panthers get the ball. They just kind of kneel it out here. So nothing really left to show off of that game. I think one thing that we kind of saw, it looks like they are susceptible on the outside of the defense. Those corners, they do struggle a little bit. I think another thing to kind of keep an eye on in terms of the Panthers defense is that they can kind of clog the middle. They throw a lot of bodies. So defensively, again, I think with all of our weapons being back, with the kind of flow we're showing, they don't really have a lot of guys who have answers for what we can do. Now, on the flip side, the Panthers will take what you give them. They're not going to go hunting for a big play. They will be patient on offense. They'll work the ball down the field. That's a little scary at times. That can be a little off-putting with how our defense was, because our defense, again, they just got walked down. They didn't make them settle for field goals enough. They got touchdowns on all but one drive, I believe, and it honestly wasn't good enough. So it's got to be a bounce back game. You got to find a way to bring pressure with 4. Hopefully you get Sheldon Rankins or BJ Hill or both back. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I really have for you guys today. We watched some of that. I'll put the YouTube here again. If you guys missed any of this, it'll just be uploaded in its entirety. The good, the bad, the boring, whatever. It's all going to be there on the YouTube. But I will see you guys tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football. Hoo day, everybody.